Yeah, so about Don't Worry Darling. I really loved it, and again, I messed up. I was just over, I decided to go and watch a video that the Red Letter Media guys did. It was a movie catch-up. I don't like to watch other people's reviews or what people talking about movies if I haven't seen them before, so with stuff like that, I wait, right? So, I don't even know when they put it up. But I went and watched it this morning. And Mike starts talking spoilers, and total spoilers for Don't Worry Darlings right here. I'm just going to say, I didn't understand a very vital plot point, and that could be why I loved it, but it could be, here's what happened. Okay, so he started explaining on their video about how it was kind of a matrix, and all this stuff about the husbands being in control and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there going, what matrix? What are you talking about? And I'm trying to, and then he's saying all this stuff, and I'm like, wait, what? So I'm hearing what he's saying, trying to replay the stuff in my mind, and I'm like, that's not what I thought happened. How did I miss that? And the way he was talking about it, I'm like, I clearly messed up. So I just went back, and my skin's all messed up again, of course. Yeah. So I just went to rewatch the end, and I'm like, wow. Okay, so the part where they go and it's the real world, and Harry Styles looks all scruffy and stuff, and then he's got her in the bed with the things on her eyes. I thought that was him, I don't know what you want to, doing some kind of orientation mind control thing on her, like they sent him a kit to do some thing to put on her to get her mind control ready for going to the place, because the whole time after I finished watching the movie, I thought that was a real place. I never thought it was a matrix. I watched the whole movie, liked it, gave it a 9 out of 10, thinking that was a real place. So I thought that Chris Pine was running some kind of biodome type place where they all lived like it was the 50s, and the husbands had brought their wives in for some kind of, I don't know, lobotomy mind control situations where they live like that. But every once in a while, one of them started a glitch, so they had to get a tune-up. And that's what I thought the situation was. I never thought, even after having seen the whole thing, when she was laying in the bed and everything, I thought that was a temporary thing. So when Mike from Red Letter Media started going, what's he doing? Is he changing her diapers and stuff like that? I'm like, what's he talking about? And I'm saying, wait, they're in a matrix? I didn't get that at all. So I'm just rewatched it. I'm looking at the part where Harry puts the eye things on, kind of like Clockwork Orange, those things. And I don't know if I looked away for a second. I don't remember seeing him with the eye things on. I remember seeing him lay down next to her, but I didn't register that he had eye things on. So that's where I think I screwed up. So I just went back and rewatched it. So I'm saying to myself, now I gotta rewatch it, because what the hell was she doing? What was she running from? I don't know if it makes it better or worse now. I would have to rewatch the whole thing, but it's gonna have to be some other time when I like forget the whole thing, but remember that it's a Matrix type thing. But for me, I just thought that that whole thing with the red on the eyes and that, I thought that was the kit that they send and you prepare the wife for her mind control, and then they were approved for this place. And like if it was a biodome or like a deserted island that this really rich man had, and they were there trying to make weapons to, you know, like a Lockheed type, Raytheon type place where they make, you know, serious weapons, and they were going to make a lot of money and then take over the world or something and put it back to the 50s. You know, or like in other movies where it was people were living in, like it was old days on a nature preserve where nobody would reach them. So I just thought all the stuff with Chris Pine and the people dressed like the 50s and Olivia Wilde, I thought that was a real place. And that Harry Styles, the twist was that Harry Styles had not got her to volunteer. That he like hit her over the head and you know, dragged her and put stuff on her, and then, you know, she was, you know, I didn't think all these people were somewhere hooked up in a matrix. I did not understand that. Like I said, I don't know if it makes it better or worse, but I did think after all that stuff that they had reprogrammed her again, and she had gone back to wherever the hell they live, and it was an actual place that looked like the 50s. So now I don't know what to think, but I had given it a 9 out of 10 with my crappy wrong interpretations. Not a different interpretation, it's just wrong. And I did the same thing with Matrix Resurrections, where I thought that, spoilers, total spoilers for Matrix Resurrections, I thought that the Neil Patrick Harris character was an unreliable narrator. But I would have realized, on second viewing, I realized I was wrong, because I didn't catch on in the theater. See, in the theater. Because I was thinking I messed up on this because I'm watching it at home and on a phone instead of in the theater with everything dark. But I screwed up the Matrix in the theater. So in Resurrections, I thought the NPH, Neil Patrick Harris character was an unreliable narrator, and he was lying the whole time. But then when I rewatched it at home, I was like, wait a minute, Sati just backed him up. How did I didn't go to the bathroom in the theater or anything. So I don't know how I missed her backing him up. I didn't understand what she was saying about, oh, my dad, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, so the interpretation that I had of that was crapped out. And it actually became a horrible thing. And I was like, oh, that's why everybody hates it. Now, in this case, I think it's just, I really thought that was a real place. I thought they were, like I said, making weapons. And they were some kind of, that's how he was going to get all this money to make this new world and create it in his image. Like he was a crazy cult leader and stuff like that. That's some guy that made a program. And, you know, I didn't think it was virtual reality. I thought all that 50 stuff was a real place that they went to. They took their wives there. They mind controlled the wives. Some of them went along with it. In her case, she didn't. So, I didn't get it. I didn't get it, but I did really like it. And most of the things I said, so the only things, the complaint I had saying, I don't understand Florence Pugh. Okay, now that she was just in a matrix the whole time, there's probably nothing wrong with her performance. Where I was like, why, if she went along with it, I don't get it, or she, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so my complaints about her now have to go away. Because they're not valid anymore, I don't think. But as far as everything else with the acting and the, it's just, in both movies, I missed this one important, very important detail. So I get the whole thing wrong, which I'm slipping. I've said I was slipping. I try to get help. Like I said, I bought some brain pills. I don't have the money to keep, but you know, like Prevagen, but not Prevagen. I bought some other brand that I keep forgetting the name of. It seemed like it worked, but I didn't take it for long enough because I said, well, it worked for a week, so let me save the rest. That's what I end up doing. I end up saving half of my vitamins all the time because I don't have enough money to get them all the time. And then I never get better. I'm good for like a week. But yeah, that's why I was like, I can't keep talking about things because I'm not completely stupid. But for movies like this, for me to be, that would have never happened before, for me to miss something like that. And in both cases, I mean, in this case, it went by pretty fast. I think on this one, I can be left a little bit of slack because it really went by fast. You know, the Harry Styles business. It didn't explain the rules. Like, I was like, so how do you get, what are the rules about getting killed in the Matrix? You know what I mean? Because I still don't understand that from the whole Matrix trilogy, and I never understood that completely. Because in Inception, it's different, right? Or something. I don't know. Perchance to Dream. Spoilers for Perchance to Dream, which is an episode of The Twilight Zone. I guess there is an idea. Maybe it's a psychology thing that's real in real life. I don't know. But there's a movie, Perchance to episode of Twilight Zone, Perchance to Dream, starring, what's his name? The good-looking guy. My mom used to like him. Oh, shit. Anyway, Italian actor from before. And he was afraid to go to sleep because he had this recurring dream. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. Leave right now. And he was afraid that if he fell asleep in the dream or died in the dream or something like something that, like, if he dies in the dream, he'll die in real life. So he was afraid to go to sleep because he kept having this recurring dream, and he kept waking up right before he died in the dream. So in real, I think that's what it was. So now I'm going to say that episode wrong, right? So he didn't want to fall asleep because he was afraid that he would die if he fell asleep and had the dream, and the dream went all the way where he died in the dream, then he would die in real life. I don't know if that's true. So I think all these other movies where, like, she hit him and then he was supposed to be dead, I'm like, is he dead though? Because now if it's a Matrix, we don't know the rules of the Matrix, you know? So I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. But I gave it a 9 out of 10 before. I'd have to totally rewatch it, but I did make a mistake. And I have to admit that when I make a mistake. Now, I just saw another movie that I really loved. I just saw After Yang, and I loved it. Also gave it a 9 out of 10. Am I wrong about After Yang somehow? I don't think so. I think that opening credit sequence is my favorite opening credit sequence. The big one I'm thinking of, everybody really loved the opening credits for, or the opening sequence. I don't know that it was the credits from Watchmen. Back in the day, I remember us all being really impressed with that. I don't know that there's any other one that I'm forgetting about right now, but yeah, I really loved the opening sequence with the dance off in After Yang. I paused the movie and I'm like, the rest of the movie's not going to be this great. I should stop watching it now. But I did really like that movie. Colin Farrell was great again. Yeah, I was totally not, I was expecting woke bullshit. It was actually a good movie. I mix up that woman. I forgot her name. Something Smith. Something Jodie Smith. I mix her up with the James Bond lady, Lashana Lynch. I mixed them up a little bit because they both are brand new, and they both got the short hair. And I'm not a racist. Don't call me racist. I think they both might be British. I don't know, but I wasn't sure if that was her, and I went and looked it up. I'm like, no, she's the one from Queen and Slim, which Queen and Slim was really good, if not depressing. But anyway. So, that's what I have to say. I screwed up. Again, I want my brain to get better. I'm going to start eating better because lately the food I've been eating my whole life is now starting to make me sick. It seems like everything that has preservatives in it. I'm not a cook. I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now. But, I'm trying to buy foods and eat them. But they tend to go bad because I forget they're there. So, yeah, I'm going to try to not eat anything. Even if I buy stuff from the store that's like bakery stuff from the store and bakery or other stuff from the store. Because, like I said, I'm not a cook because I don't have the situation to cook properly in also. But I'm not a cook. I could have been. There's a lot of things I could have been. But anyway, so I would love it if my brain would get better. I don't think so. I am old. I wanted help. I guess people think this is regular, or just I'm just not a person who gets that kind of help. I don't know. But I don't want to go around trashing people's movies because I don't understand them. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. In the case of Matrix Resurrections, I loved it and had to come back and say, oh, I should have trashed it because I was wrong. But yeah. So that's the first. Because it was such a. I think I can still have credit for that because I thought they were in a real place. I thought that he took her. He knocked her over the head, put the mind control shit on her, and then people came and took them to the place, or they went off camera. They went to the island or the biodome or whatever it was. So I didn't understand that. That makes it actually harder. Because then you do have to say, well, what is he putting diapers on her or what? You know what I mean? If she's not eating, though, what do you need diapers for? But anyway, so yeah. So, I'm going to be quiet now. But yeah, it's because I was watching the Red Letter Media thing that I just was like, wait, what? What happened? This is what happens when you're alone and you don't talk to anybody. You think you know what you're talking about. On politics and stuff, I know what I'm talking about. But complicated movies where you turn your head and you don't see Harry Styles with the thing on his eyeballs, that's different. Sorry.